Good morning. Welcome to Morning Motivations with Dan Stratton. I want to welcome all of my friends who've been joining us week after week. Thank you for being with us. I'm in Fort Worth, Texas today, and I'm celebrating my good friend Mylon LeFavor, who's in the Hall of Fame of gospel music. He was a gospel singer from the very early time in his life with his mom and dad. Then he went into the service and he became a hardcore rock and roller. One of the things that happened for him when he was 17, he wrote a song that Elvis Presley recorded, and it kind of shocked him and changed his life at 17 years old, because now he had some money in his pocket and he started spending it on the wrong things, drugs and different things, and partying. And took him down a road. Great musician, great person, but he was mainly, to me, just a really good friend. And we came from different backgrounds. He was raised in Georgia. I was raised in Minnesota. But then when we ran into each other, and we had a desire to reach out to young people, and we became friends who spoke on the phone a couple times a week, sometimes for hours, just studying some things out, thinking about, character and virtue, and how to reach across cultural divides and talk to people. And he just had such a different perspective in such a different way. Whereas I'm kind of on my toes, he was more laid back and on his heels, but also very intense in his own way. And I tell you about Mylon today because, as he got into his 70s, he's a little bit older than me. He passed away a couple weeks ago, and he was 79 years old. I'm just 64, but that age never seemed to cause any kind of a separation or a cultural divide or even an age gap where, the things that he thought about growing up and the things that I thought about growing up that shaped us affected us. And I say that to say, you could be friends with people that you don't share everything in common with. And so I think that's a really cool thing. And I guess what I'm feeling today, and the reason I wanted to talk about friendship today, is just how really important it is to reach out and to spend time and to have those conversations that aren't really planned, or that really don't have anywhere to go. I saw another friend last night at the celebration, and he's like, let's get together. I haven't seen him in a while. We used to hang out a lot and be together probably 15 years ago. 20 years ago, we hung out a lot. And I remember being up in Buffalo, New York, fishing Lake Erie, and we got on the dry ground. We were going to go to, just go grab something to eat or something. And we ended up in a parking lot, and we just were sprinting, racing each other. He's an old Marine, and I was still young enough to sprint, at least to some extent. And it was really, really, really fun. And it was a memory. And we just laughed over it last night. And we caught up. His kids that I knew when they were real little are all grown up now and have kids of their own. And it just brings a richness to the experience of life when you can touch base, when time has passed, and then you can purpose to get together again in the future. And it's important. This year has been a year of that for me. I want to make sure that I keep a close relationship with my daughter and my son-in-law, even with his parents, my son-in-law's parents, because the familiarity helps when times get tough, when you can reach out, you can ask for help, or you can offer help, and you can intervene when the train gets off the rails a little bit, when people get into trouble. My sister, another one, it's so important. I'm staying in touch with her and find out that her son, who's been going through a lot of different stuff, it has been, paying attention to what we do, and it's really helping him. And it creates I guess, an ease, an ability to come back together and help each other. I like to say it like this when I travel and teach and talk to people. I always say we're all called to do great things, but none of us can do it alone. And it's very important that we think about that in terms of friendship. It's not just in terms of a working relationship, but friendship is deeper. Friendship historically has had deep, strong bond meanings. I have a friend who lives in San Francisco, and we get together. He always calls me his brother. We have a very different viewpoint when it comes to politics and the way this country should be run, the United States of America. But we still get together. We talk about each other's families. He's a big San Francisco's 49er fan, and I'm a Vikings fan, I guess. I'm not really a Giants fan, even though living in Jersey, I watch the Giants way more than I watch the Jets. But we talk about, he's got 3 boys, and we talk about getting together, and we make stuff up. We play golf to get together, and we purpose to do that, call each other on our birthdays, or at least text or message each other. And, life is just so much richer when you have someone that someone that really knows you and still likes you, knows your good points, your bad points, your strengths, your weaknesses. And also a friend is something that is so powerful because oftentimes, they can say the things that need to be said, say the things that, you need to hear. And my wife is my best friend, and she tells me things all the time that are good for me that I don't want to hear. As far as like what to eat, or sometimes what to wear for sure, and what to say, what to think about. And it's really a blessing when somebody loves you enough, cares about you enough, and really takes the time to kind of interject into the conversation, interject into your decision making, because friends really kind of pay attention. They watch and they care. My daughter had a baby, and my little guy you may have seen him on Morning Motivations. He's been with me a couple of times. He is 9 months old now, and Danielle's now back to work and working on a regular basis. She is a doctor, and she's doing operations and being a mom. And I just I want to make sure that at all times that I'm a friend to her, that she can reach out if she's got something she wants to talk about with everything she's juggling. If she needs support, she needs me to come over and watch the baby, or to go pick stuff up or do something, because both of them are working. They're in that hustle bustle stage of their career and their lives. And Bennett is precious to us, and so she's a good friend to me. And of course, she has no qualms, no hesitation to speak her mind towards me. And I think it's very, very cool and very, very powerful. And I think all of us need that in our life. Not only that, but people need us to be friends to them. I know it's important to my daughter for me to encourage her, to my wife for me to encourage her. And I know it means a lot when you reach out and encourage someone. One of Mylan's friends, Scott, he just said, Dan, thank you for reaching out to me and reminding me of the time that we spent together 30 years ago, and how important it was, and what a blessing it was to you. It's important to tell people how they've affected you, and how they've supported you and how they have, challenged you maybe, but maybe helped you make decisions along the way that were good for you. And so it just adds so much warmth, so much strength, but it also adds an element of forward thinking. The concept of making sure that uh, you make good decisions go forward and remember a little bit of the responsibilities and the accountability that you have to your friends. It's really cool. It's really cool that when you're making decisions that you're taking into account those key relationships, those key friendships that you have, and that you keep those relationships that you have in the place where you think of them as valuable, energized, fun friendships rather than relationships that become obligations. So always keeping in your mind by choice the idea that your wife is your friend, right? Your daughter is your friend. Your son-in-law is your friend. I've been told in raising Danielle and raising a daughter, I think we did a pretty good job with her, a real good job, in fact, that you can't be their friends as parents, that you have to be stronger, you have to be tougher, you have to be a little bit distant. I can't tell you that I got to tell you, I couldn't disagree more with that. I think about God. God could be Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, right? He could be all three of those things. He could be guide and counselor. He could be strong, and he can also be, distant, let you make decisions on your own, etc. So when I think of my daughter, I could be a friend to her, have fun with her, laugh with her, but at the same time be there to challenge her, guide her, support her, all those things. Think things through with her, and sometimes make a gesture that can open a door for her or get her a conversation that she needs to have or point her to some information that she might need, etc. She does the same for me. My wife the same. She's always bringing me books and sharing things with me, and so keeping those relationships and remembering that they're your friends. Like even my dad's 84 years old, and he's going through some health issues. And if I'm not careful, I'm going to think of him as my dad, and I love my dad. And I'm going to think of him as somebody that I have to take care of, and not somebody that I enjoy spending time with, that I should enjoy having a conversation with. You don't want people in your life, no matter what the history, no matter what the hurt that may have gone on in the past, you still want to make the choice to be a friend. You want to make the choice to laugh, to energize, to deliver a quality virtue, fun, joy, deliver true support and care. You want to be in that situation, and you want to explore together. These are people that you've explored with before, and so you put them on a different level. That my dad is not just my dad. He's not just struggling physically now. He's my friend, and he might need a conversation. He might need to laugh. He might need to get out. He might need to go fishing. You might need to, play cards. Just do something fun, something that makes you feel alive. And I think it's important that we think of people in our life that way, and that we think through the idea of friendship on a regular basis and try to be a good friend, and then value the friends that you have as good friends. I just did a little ref here, thinking about my friends, thinking about Mylan, thinking about my dad, thinking about my wife and daughter as friends, my sisters. I have 4 sisters. And I think it's important that you really kind of value how valuable friends are. Well, thanks for tuning in to Morning Motivations with Dan Stratton. I hope this blessed you. I'm down here in Fort Worth, Texas today, and thanks for tuning in. God bless.